What's going on, guys? This is Ryan, aka Cantering Clark, and by now I don't know why I always repeat that line because I'm sure that you can distinguish my face from Josh's face, but it's a force of habit. But I'm going to be biting off of Josh's style, if that's the right phrase, because Josh's video I think gets a little bit more love because his videos are personal, right? He has this little head in the corner of the screen. So I'm going to start my videos off with quarter body shot of Ryan. All right. All jokes aside, the reason why I want to actually do this video, and I know that Josh just put out a video, I think like 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago. So I apologize for inundating you with constant content, but you did sign up for it, so I actually don't apologize. But the video that I'm going to be doing right now is going to be hopefully short, and it's going to be relevant to something that Josh talked about. So, as you know, Josh mentioned another crypto exchange, all right? And we've talked about other crypto exchanges before. You know how we feel about certain exchanges, okay? I'm pretty outspoken when it comes to what I like and what I don't like. And what I like is isolated to things that do right by their customers and perform well under pressure, right? So they have the technology and they have the integrity. And in my opinion, that's the only thing that really matters, all right? No unscrupulous activity, and when you go to put a trade on, you can guarantee to get in and get out and hopefully not lose your hat in the process, right? So crypto is really nascent still, okay? And there are going to be a lot more exchanges coming out, and hopefully this will occur in your favor, right? So hopefully all these exchanges will, right, they will essentially, there will be an exchange survival of the fittest, okay? And the exchanges that end on progressing into the future are the ones that function properly, all right? And the ones that offer good features, okay? And I say that half jokingly because a lot of crypto exchanges are releasing features that have been available on traditional market exchanges forever, okay? So things like OCO orders are not that special, all right? I don't mean to go off on a rant or anything, but in traditional markets, you have a ton of options, okay? And I say the word okay a lot. I say all right a lot. It's a way of parsing my sentences. This is going to be one take. Like I said, I think I said, so bear with me, okay? Pardon me, right? So in traditional markets, you have a ton of options, all right? And likely, your options are going to be in line with your priorities, okay? Are you that concerned with spreads? Are you an investor? Are you a trader, okay? Do you need direct market access, right? Now, you could trade futures, okay, through a proper futures exchange, okay, or rather it's not a futures exchange because it's centralized, but you could trade futures through CFDs and not participate in the passive order and pay a ton in spreads, or you could trade futures through direct market access, right? So you have different options, different ways of accessing the market, okay? You have a ton of different brokerages, right? And they might offer, hopefully they all compete with each other on spreads because we know that that's a major issue, all right? When it comes to traditional equity brokerages, okay, maybe, I don't know what you guys are trading your stocks on if you have traditional market portfolios, but maybe you're on TD Ameritrade, maybe you're on Robinhood, maybe you were on E-Trade, right? Maybe you are on, I'm just trying to think of the other options, but there's pretty much the leaders in the space now. Maybe you're on Charles Schwab, all right? Depends on what your priorities are, okay, what your investment profile is, all right? But pretty much a lot of these exchanges are going to be competing in costs, right? Because what's happening is the fee structure and the commission structure is making its way down to zero, okay? The same way that firms will participate in competition with each other, and this is a good thing because it ends up benefiting the consumer with hopefully a cheaper product, okay? Who can produce such things, or rather who can produce something, or if two firms are competing to produce something, who could do it in the cheapest manner possible, okay, so they could sell it at the lowest price and so that you could benefit, right? The last step is you benefiting, hopefully, right? So there are a lot of options in cryptocurrency as far as exchanges go, but they're unscrupulous and you don't know if you put your crypto on them whether or not you're going to be able to take it back off, okay? And some of them, I don't want to speculate, but likely are operating some type of fractional reserve system, okay, where it's like a bank. It's like the thing that we all are, saying that we're trying to take advantage of crypto for, right? To be unbanked. Wouldn't that be a shame if you found out that the cryptocurrency exchange that you are on was operating like a fractional reserve? But again, I'm not going to rant, okay? That's my style, but I'm not going to get into it. So I wanted to talk about Phemex, okay? Keep it really simple. Going to go to the screen really shortly and show you guys the exchange, okay? Really simple though. All-star team, Morgan Stanley guys. Yes, I have a little bit of an allegiance to anyone from traditional markets. My background's in traditional markets. Here I am in crypto. Say something about it. So, I have an allegiance, and I tend to, to a fault, it might perk my attention more if someone has a strong pedigree or a great CV from the traditional market space. All right. So, great team. Okay, incredible matching engine, 300 transactions per second, and so far they actually have a great amount of liquidity. Not only that, all right, I'll get to my favorite features. They have everything you really need as far as trading goes. Okay, all the contingent order types, conditional order types. All right, they have a USD wallet and a Bitcoin wallet. All right, they offer Bitcoin, ETH, XRP. I think that's it so far for now, but this is the best part, and this is the part that I think is really innovative, and that I'm really attracted to. All right, and how they go about offering it, whether or not they are, derivatives of derivatives. Okay, how they're going to go about packaging these vehicles, not 100% certain yet, but I think the idea is really awesome. They're going to be offering things in traditional markets such as indices, commodities, energies, for example, gold. All right, and I think some Forex pairs. So this to me sounds awesome. It sounds awesome that, forgetting about just Bitcoin and the fact that you could put on 100 times leverage trade, I'm not advising that, but I'm telling you they offer 1 to 100 times leverage, okay, and you can open multiple accounts under the same head account, so you could take opposing positions, all right. The fact that they will be offering these other vehicles is awesome, because imagine you're able to place some type of pairs trade or carry trade if there's any degree of correlation in the future. Right now, obviously we know it's spurious, but to be able to take advantage of this, I think is awesome from one platform. I think it's really innovative, and I think that anytime that something comes out where you do have all of these things kind of lining up, you have the team, you have the tech, and you have this level of innovation and ingenuity, I think that, again, it piques my interest. And I think that when I see something that interests me, I think that's our job at BlockRoots. It's to convey that message to you. All right. And everything that we talk about, so all the exchanges that we talk about, they all get our thumbs up. All right. So the benefit to you is having options. And hopefully all the options that you're picking from are not going to eliminate each other on the basis of some fraudulent activity or some major problem, right? The exchanges we don't like, all right, we know what we don't like about them. We know that we don't like one exchange because of the scam wicks. Now, I know people will argue that some person is benefiting from that scam wick because there is a counterparty on the other side of that trade that didn't get liquidated and probably got in. That's great, all right. But for 9 out of 10 people that are maybe new to trading, and they're new to trading with leverage and derivatives in general, and I hate to say that they don't have a complete understanding of the environment that they're in, because you always should, but we know that cryptocurrency is filled with newer investors and traders, and a lot of people, for them, it's their first market. So it is helpful to steer people to the right direction, okay, and to point them towards places where they can't get hurt, all right, or where there are lesser evils, put it that way, okay. So I want to take a look at this exchange right now. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. We're going to go to the screen right now. All right, guys, so this is the interface. All right, and the first thing I have to say is it's actually pretty attractive. And I know that is superficial. It doesn't mean anything, but it's an added benefit, right? If you're going to be looking at this thing all day, it helps when it's easy on the eyes. All right, so it has all your standard stuff, okay? Obviously, you have your chart by TradingView. You have your drawing tools. You have your indicators. First things first, this large wick, this is only on the testnet. The regular platform has over 20,000 Bitcoin traded in 24-hour volume. So plenty of liquidity for 9 out of 10 traders, and it's only going to improve. All right. So have your chart, you have your order book, times and sales, depth of market, okay, order entry area. All this stuff is standard now. Okay, they have those better features, again, that are norms in traditional markets, but were not really available in crypto for a while. Okay, they have your trigger orders, they have your conditionals, your contingent order types, your time and force. Okay, good till canceled, fill or kill. All right, immediate or cancel. So they have all this stuff, all right? They have all the things that we need when we're getting in a trade to immediately figure out where we'll get out, where we will take profit. Okay, the same type of template comes up when you go to place an order, and I'm going to get to that in a second. I just want to point out all of the obvious features. All right, the one thing that should draw your attention immediately is this USD. Now, when you're on other derivatives platforms, when you're on anything that is offering a perp swap and it's offering any of these inverse futures contracts and it's going to be margined in Bitcoin, there are no USD wallets. All right. So if you need to get flat and you're truly trying to get out of being exposed to the spot market, you have to get into synthetic USD. And we talked about what that means. It means that you have to take your portfolio balance. So in this case, on the test net, a quarter of a Bitcoin. So what we would do is we would short a quarter of a Bitcoin on 1 times isolated leverage. All right. And this would make sure that we would not be liquidated. Okay. We would be in a synthetic short. And what we're doing is basically taking advantage of the structure of the contract. All right. Of the inverse structure. So you cannot be liquidated, but certain times funding favors longs or shorts. All right. So there are absolutely times when you're not exposed to the underlying spot market, all right, and you are in a synthetic USD position, when you can get paid based on the funding favoring shorts, right? So say you just want to be flat, funding is positive, it's very positive. If you get into synthetic USD, you're getting paid a certain amount of basis points, right? At that expiration period, at that 8-hour period, you're going to get paid based on the amount of money that is in your wallet or that position. So it's, if you're in an open position and you're using leverage and you are using leverage to gain greater exposure, then you're going to be paying on the notional value of contracts that you hold, right? If you're in a synthetic USD position and you're basically just reflecting your true account balance in USD, you're going to be paying based on that amount, all right? So this adds up over time though, right? Especially as you have more and more money in your account or as you build your capital, okay? Especially on an annualized basis, all right? If you think of how this adds up over time, it can be quite drastic, especially when there are periods where funding is either very negative or very positive. All right. So there are benefits to this, obviously. If funding is favoring shorts and you're in synthetic USD position, you get paid that. But if it's not and it's favoring longs, well, if you just want to be flat and you don't want to be in a long position, you don't want to be exposed to the underlying spot market volatility, for example, just to give you an example of why you wouldn't want to be exposed, say you just want to be flat, right? You don't want to be in any position. All right. You're trying to get out of Bitcoin. Well, if funding is favoring, in this case, shorts, all right, or rather if funding is favoring longs, okay, then you are going to be paying a premium. You're going to be paying essentially that interest rate. So I just say paying a premium because you're going to be paying as you keep your position in that synthetic USD. All right. So, again, it's a small amount, but it is a cost. And these are things that you have to take into consideration as you are progressing as a trader or an investor, whatever your goals are in this space. So you cannot truly get flat, and this allows you to get truly flat. All right, you're able to get right into USD, and with this USD, you could actually get right into ETH. You could get right into XRP. Okay, with Bitcoin, you're still margined in Bitcoin. All right, so you cannot trade Bitcoin from USD, but it offers you the same access as the other exchanges. All you have to do is use the conversion, and you get right from USD to Bitcoin rather seamlessly with no friction. Okay, so all the standard stuff, and we have this USD wallet. The other thing that I was really, really intrigued by was the fact that they're going to be offering these traditional market vehicles. All right, so they're going to be offering Forex pairs. They're going to be offering commodities. Think about energies, for example. Okay, think gold, precious metals. All right, traditional market indices. And this is awesome because as the market progresses, and let's say, for example, as Bitcoin becomes a more macro asset, all right, it's going to develop more relationships, right, more obvious relationships and correlations with other macro assets. Okay, so maybe it'll trade a positive correlation with gold, maybe it'll trade with a negative correlation or inverse correlation to oil, who knows? But as it develops, it would be nice to put on positions depending on how this relationship manifests itself. Okay, so you heard of something called pairs trading. So let's say that Bitcoin and gold, they trade a certain way over time. They have a certain behavior with respect to each other. Let's say that that behavior gets out of whack. There's a big disparity between them. At that point, you could take advantage of that pair, and maybe you put on a short on Bitcoin, a long on gold, some type of carry trade. okay, until it gets back to what are the norms for those two assets, right? So this is just a hypothetical, but the fact that it's going to be offering these, I think, is absolutely awesome, and it just shows signs that the market is moving forward, okay? That is moving forward and it's maturing more and more, all right? Now, the other thing that I think is really awesome about this exchange, all right, that no other exchange offers is the sub accounts, okay? So we're on Cantering Clark Testnet 1 right now. All right. So on testnet 1, I can take a long, and then I can go into my account and I could go to Cantering Clark sub account number 2, and I could take an opposing position. All right. So I could have multiple accounts with multiple positions on, and they're not going to be in conflict with each other. All right. They might be in conflict with each other. Maybe it's not the best idea to take certain positions. Maybe you should just be flat, all right, in one position. But nevertheless, you're able to do that. Okay. No other exchange currently offers that. All right. And the matching engine in this right now is the best matching engine out. So 300 transactions per second puts that in the number one spot. And again, the team on this platform, they're a bunch of Morgan Stanley guys and they come from traditional markets. This is what they did in traditional markets. So I think that that speaks for itself. Now, as far as placing orders go, all right, you just have everything that's available that you would expect on a high level platform. And again, I said that these things were all available in traditional markets, but they've only become recently popular in crypto. I don't know why. It's like a bargaining point, or it's something to celebrate, but these things are all available in traditional markets. But nevertheless, there were exchanges that weren't offering these. All right, they weren't offering conditionals. Okay, they weren't offering orders that you could put triggers on. Okay, even something like, for example, let's put on a market order. Okay, so market order, let's say 50,000 contracts. Okay, so this feature right here is not something, believe it or not, that every exchange offers. And the fact that we take it for granted, all right, in traditional markets, and it's not offered on every exchange in crypto, it absolutely just blows my mind. Okay. This is something that reduces the friction in your trading process. So if you're on an exchange and they make it so that you have to jump through hoops to put on a take profit and a stop loss and do all this at once, then you're probably on an exchange that hopes that they can part you with your money. All right. So immediately we have this template. All right. It allows us to put on a take profit, allows us to put on a stop loss immediately. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to test the speed. So confirm 50,000 contracts in right away. Let's get out of this position. Okay. So 50,000 contracts, mark it out of the position, confirm, out right away. All right. So this has all of the bells and whistles as far as features, functionality, okay, the conditional, the contingent order types. And then they're going to be adding, again, what I think is the most interesting. They're going to be adding those traditional assets. They're going to be adding things such as indices, commodities, all right, your energies, precious metals, Forex pairs. I think this is just absolutely awesome. And again, I think the team is an awesome team as well. So this is the exchange. All right, this is Phemex. We provided a link below. And as always, guys, just remember, every week we give out $100 in Bitcoin. So make sure that you leave a comment, like the video, and give us a little bit of feedback. All right, guys, have a great night.